Hey, what is up YouTube? This is the Merman Master coming at you guys from the Team Time Riders Yugioh channel with the deck profile we have all been waiting for. This is a deck, probably, hopefully one of the first ones on YouTube, just completed by the man himself, Earl. What is this deck?
Krawlers. It's a brand new archetype out of Circuit Break.
That's right. Pretty awesome. I'm very, very excited to see what this deck is, how it plays, what makes it tick. Or what makes a crawl or whatever. So yeah, anything you want to say before we get into it?
Let's get to it.
Let's do it.
Alright, so starting off we have 3 Krawler Spine. Now for Krawlers, they are all level 2 flip insect monsters, and they all have 2 different effects. The first effect, they all have a flip effect, and then they have an effect that is shared across all of them. The one that's shared across all of them is that if it's face up and it leaves the field by an opponent's card effect, you get to summon 2 Krawlers from your deck with different names, face down in defense, as long as it's not the one that is activating. So if Spine leaves field, I summon 2 other ones that aren't Spine. As for its flip effect, it's Mania Bug, Pop a Monster.
Yeah.
Just 2100 booty. That's what makes him good. Then we've got Krawler Axon. His flip effect is Pop a Back Row, and he's a decent sized booty as well at 18. Then we've got Krawler Receptor. His flip effect is Stratos. You add a Krawler from your deck to your hand. We've got Krawler Dendrite. His flip is Foolish Burial. Krawler Glyle. His flip is one that lets you summon a Krawler from your hand or graveyard in either face-up attack or face-down defense, except in the copy of Glyle. And then Ranveer, which flip effect allows you to add any 2 Krawlers in your graveyard to your hand. Or up to 2 Krawlers, I should say. And the one thing about the Krawlers is that they share the lore with the World Chalice, because they're kind of like the DT-like lore this time around in these sets. So they have their own World Legacy cards. This one being World Legacy World Armor. So this is a monster that can summon itself from the hand when a monster is flip summoned, doesn't matter if it's yours or opponent's. And when he's normal special summoned, you get to add a World Legacy card from your deck to your hand. And then if you did normal summon him, you can target a face-up monster that was summoned from the extra deck that your opponent has and return both this and that monster to the hand.
Wow.
So mostly he's just here as a big beater. For just some of the plays.
How often do you get that normal summon effect off?
Rarely. I in all the testing I've done on DevPro and in real life, I've never really normal summoned him. I've always summoned him off of the his effect.
I was gonna say, like, being a level 7, I know they get the World Legacy World Chalice or whatever often, but like, yeah. This one being a level 7, I think, is probably a lot tougher. Yeah. Speaking of the World Legacy World Chalice, I do play 2 of that. This is primarily milled with Dendrite, but there are ways to get out of the hand if need be. But it's mainly in here to act as the effect to banish from the graveyard to add a World Legacy card to my hand. Wow. That's mainly what I use it for. I love the fact that like all of this like lore and stuff like that is combining together, and the archetypes are.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for the Jack Knight deck set. That's gonna be a deck I'll be hopefully profiling for you next time.
We're very, very excited to see that one.
All right, now as I mentioned, all the Krawlers are level 2 insects. So is Inferni Beetle.
Whew.
There's a couple of reasons why I'm using this card, and we'll get into that when we get to it. But again, a bunch of level 2 monsters. Why would I not play Young Synchron?
Yeah.
I am playing 1 as Techapede. I am thinking of taking him out because either I never see him, or if I do, it just doesn't help. He wasn't there just for just to act as a level 4 for a certain synchro, but I think I'm gonna take him out eventually. And then level 2 insect.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's it for the monsters. For the spells, we have the World Legacy and Shadow. This is the field spell for Krawlers. Krawlers gain 300 attack and defense. That's normal for these field spells nowadays. Then once per turn, I can summon a level 2 or lower insect from my hand in either face up or face down defense. So this is mainly why I have one of the reasons why I have Inferni Beetle. And then when a flip monster I control is destroyed by battle with an opponent's monster, I can send that opponent's monster to the graveyard.
Wow.
So Crystal Wing, unaffected, can't be destroyed by card effects. Doesn't matter, it's being sent.
Crystal Wing is slowly finding himself outgunned and outmatched in the meta. You know?
And this is the main reason why the fact that they're all level 2 is relevant. Verdant Sanctuary, this is a very old card back from Crimson Crisis.
Yep.
It's not a hard once per turn. They stack. And it's a mandatory effect that when an insect, a face-up insect, is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, I get to add an insect at the same level from my deck to my hand. And that even includes by battle, because when it's flipped face-up, it's face-up. It's being destroyed and sent to the grave.
Yep.
So if I have 2 of these on board, or even 3, that's the advantage. Especially if the Krawlers are being destroyed or by a card effect, and when they're face-up, that's 2 on the field and 3 in my hand.
Broken.
Yeah, the advantage you can generate with this deck is insane. Then I'm also playing 2 multiplication of Vans.
We're going back to Weevil Underwood days. Do that again.
Say goodbye to Exodia! Excuse me. But anyways, this basically turns any of my insects into 2 tokens, and the tokens are actually really good for some of the Xyz plays. Yeah. Link plays, I should say.
Yeah, shoot.
Yeah. Xyz with
your mother with that mouth.
And then Dark Hole.
Yeah.
And then for traps, I'm playing 3 World Legacy Pawns. This is oh god, what's that Ghost Trick card?
The one that flips the thing face down. Jack Frost?
No, it's a Ghost Trick trap that
Vanish.
No.
Scare.
Go round.
Oh, go round.
Yeah, it's similar to that.
I thought go round was a spell.
No.
It's a trap.
Yeah, it's the trap that has like a skeleton spin around. Yeah, it's similar to that. It's a hard once per turn, so I can only use either effect once per turn. But I can either flip a monster that I control face up, or I can shuffle a Krawler in my graveyard into the deck, into the main deck, I should say, to book one of my monsters.
Wow.
So it has those applications for being able to get, if my opponent plays Raigeki, and I have a face down Krawler, I just flip it face up and get 2 monsters off of it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So that's it for the deck. Again, it's still a work in progress.